for the 20th of November. I said, do it with us. Do it with me. Do it with everybody. So Karen just had a question first up, and that is sharing files on Canva. I'll jump straight in because this one's I get this all the time. So I
And
will.
can I specifically, like on top of that, the same, because the other thing you said is that they can go straight across from Canva into the landing page, just swapping them out. So can you show us how to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
do that?
So ultimately, huge win, which I want to celebrate, Karen. Um, Karen has taken the landing page or the freebie funnel that I created and duplicated it or cloned it. So she's cloned the funnel, she's cloned the automation, and she's cloned the form, and is going through the process of updating it with a new freebie, which is awesome.
Yay.
I think
Good
it's just
job, Karen.
My hair's doing this. Like,
yeah. I feel like it really is it's just taking that step. It's taking that first moment of going, I'm actually going to try something new. I'm going to try something that I don't feel comfortable doing and pushing your way through it. So well done is what I want to say to that.
Indeed.
Let me see.
Murray, did you send like 1,000 Boxer messages to Rochelle when you were doing it? I was
Probably.
like, when you're learning, I was like, sorry to bother you again. Sorry to bother you again.
There has been in the past multiple Voxer messages on multiple devices for things like that. But you can only learn by doing, so you've done it now. And
that's it. That's what I couldn't find. Maybe I'm
Okay.
not scared with that document.
So before I dive into this, I'm just going to say welcome to Sonia. Welcome, Sonia.
Hi, how are you? Just getting organized. That time went really quick.
I know, 20 minutes was like boom, gone.
Like,
we're just talking Canva. We jump straight into things, but I just want to do a quick intro because I don't know if you know each other online, offline, whatever, but do you want to do a little intro, Sonia, and just tell everybody who you are? And maybe I'll get you, Murray and Karen, to just kind of introduce yourselves to Sonia too. So you start to get to know each other as a community, which I think is really important, supporting each other.
Put a better light on. I'll just change my lighting
for a second, and I'll come back to that Canva question, Karen.
Cool. My very unprofessional profile would be that I'm barefoot, hippie, braless, love to nudie swim, very freedom, traveling around Australia for the last 2 years and just really living that really beautiful life. Very simple, but it's actually feels really rich, like rich from the inside, rich on the outside, and I just attract these most amazing people. So that's my very unprofessional side. My more professional side is I am a holistic freedom lifestyle mentor, and I'm multi-passionate, and I love helping women, especially, radiate their essence from the inside out, be visible online, be able to be in alignment, speak their truth, regardless of whether their boobs are hanging south or they've got a few extra jelly bellies on their rolls around their tummy. And just really tap into the essence of who they are and who they're here to inspire. But the thing that sort of come through for me today is we have nothing to prove to anyone. We just have to live in joy and live our best life and just shine the light for those that want to follow. It's not about convincing people. It's like, here, I'm over here running my race, and if you want to come join me, you're welcome. But if you're not interested, that's okay too. But this is what I'm doing. So very free spirited. Has not always been that way. I was a teacher for many years. I was in the corporate, I was in banking, government. Like, oh my God, I thought my soul was going to die. And since living this lifestyle, I just feel like I've been reborn again. I feel like I'm the youngest I've ever been. I feel the healthiest I've ever been. I feel the happiest I've ever been. Yeah, you know, there's been some challenges, and people would look at the challenges I've had and think, how do you rise? How do you rise from that? So that's a little bit about me.
So
I love it.
beautiful.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Karen, do you want to share a little bit about you?
Well,
I know that I get you to do this more than once because, you know, new people join but it's good for you girls to kind of really consolidate the way in which you share who you are online when you're in a community and networking and whatnot. So I'll leave
and it flows and changes.
yeah.
Well, I'm building a platform that will support my business to do what you're doing, Sonia. So my husband and I've never, my bed has never been that neat in our caravan ever.
We did that in 2 minutes. We did that in 2 minutes. I said, we're going to be on Zoom. They're going to see the bed. Quick, let's make the bed.
I sit at the table, so and then shut the window down, so all they see is the window shutter. But so I'm here in this group because I work on it. I was not online traditionally. I'm a naturopath in a clinic, and now I'm building a coaching business for women, mostly over 40s, dealing with sleep, hormones, that sort of thing. Mari introduced me to Rose, so now I have two great new friends. And so our goal when my husband retires in 3 more years is to travel in our van all around Australia, more than we already have, but permanently, or not permanently, we'll still have our home, and be able to run my business. So I'm building this online automated system where I don't have to do everything manually, and it's already paying. I just send people to my web booking site now, and it pays, and it's great.
Yeah, you just got to find the payments. That was really cute.
Michelle,
I know somebody's paid me. I know the money's in my bank account, but where do I find it?
Oh my goodness. They just said, can you just resend the receipt? I'm thinking, I didn't send it the first time.
Because it's automated.
Where do I find that?
When automations happen and you don't even know. It's perfect.
I found it in multiple places, so there's a few different options. Yeah.
Love it.
Very cool. Thank you. Far away, Mari.
So I work in the menopause education space, working with fitness professionals to help them with their female clients adapt their training and diet and lifestyle programs. And Karen was one of my clients, who's also keen to work in the menopause space. So she came to my masterclass and then did my online course, and now I'm just growing and moving and adapting and changing and trying to learn all the tech as we go.
And Mari's the reason I'm doing this, because Mari has done so much all herself. And I'm like, if Mari can do that IT stuff, can I?
If she can do it, I've got some hope.
I can do it.
Of course. And that is a good way to think.
Love it.
Oh, good. And so Mari was also a genius. Sonia was genius. Just so that you all know that there's a few tainted bodies in the room.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's nice to keep the family together.
I would like to rephrase that and reframe it. Enriched.
Okay. I need to let go of my bitterness.
Expanded. Because honestly, if there's anything that I have learnt from life, it's either a blessing or a lesson. No failure.
Oh, totally. Lessons all the way.
And blessings. And yes, it was something I had to work through because it actually brought a heap of stuff up for me. But now I've dealt with that, I can move on. So that's been a lesson and a blessing. So
I needed to hear that because I don't think I've let go. I feel like there's still a little part of me that's like, asshole.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
you're allowed to have that, but at the same time, it allowed you to move to here.
It definitely has. And one of the biggest things that I took from it is that just doing it on my own, like I know that I could, but I always felt like in all my businesses, I felt like I've needed to work with someone or kind of collaborate with someone, and that has been like actually investing in our Lotta and the software I was using CloudKey because I didn't believe that I could just do it all myself and set it all up myself and run an agency myself. And I look back now and I think, God, if only I'd done that at the beginning, but yeah, I think it was a moment when I went, you know what, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to run my own agency. It was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So in my head, I'd made it. And I think we all do that with tech, with stuff that we don't know, is we kind of make it to be this enormity because it's unknown. And then you do it and you're like, oh, well, it kind of makes sense. Like if I look at how far you've come, Mari, from initially with your tech journey to what you do now without even calling me, like next minute I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen that you've got a new, payment page going. I'm like, oh, you did that all yourself. Like, look at you go.
I have to get my head around it. I have to get my head around your new stuff because I'm in so many menopause groups or so many groups. When yours comes through now, I have to go, oh yeah, that's Mari's, and take note because you've changed the name. I haven't got my head around it yet.
I know, sorry.
Yeah.
It'll get there. It'll get there. I was just about to upload something this morning and I accidentally, when you've got all your tabs open on the top, I was halfway through. I closed the freaking whole thing down and I'm like, oh my God, I was halfway through posting that. So just take a deep breath.
Yes.
Fine. There's no rush. Everything in perfect timing.
Oh my
God.
I
know, but that's one of my mains. Like I closed down the other day. I had like 5 or 6 tabs because I usually keep whatever I'm working on is open in the tab. By the end of the day, I've closed it all off in my ideal world.
You do?
I closed the entire window.
Yeah, me too. That's what I just did. I'm like,
no.
I did that just now. I was like, no. Anyway.
Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. 15 minutes into the call, she says. So in Canva, I know this is a really basic 101 thing, but if you have a design, you can share that amongst people. So
you've got me in there.
It says it's pending. So that tells me that up in your little icon, you would have got an email, but up in this little bell icon in the top,
there's 100. Okay.
Yeah, you should have that, and you'll just need to accept it from there.
Did it just change? I've got all these Rochelle shared stuff with me.
Yeah, I usually have a good habit of, no, it still says pending. So the file name is called 6 Steps to Optimal Health ebook.
Opened it.
Okay, so whose account are you in? Are you in Karen's account?
No.
Oh, you're in your account, but this is her.
My account, and it's a folder with Karen.
And I've got lots of notifications because you've seen Renee shares stuff as well. So it's called, what is it called? Sorry, I've got another page open.
6 Steps to Optimal Health.
Ebook page.
Yeah.
So when I click on that notification, it opens the actual document. Yeah. Does that mean I now have it?
That means you now have it.
So you've just got to do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've just got to accept the design. And so this is what I call a flat lay. And I use different ones, but generally it's, if it's an ebook, it's a book, and then it's an iPad and some pages of the book, just to make it a bit exciting of what people are looking at. I think there's 2 options here. And so to make this, to update this, I would keep this, obviously, because you may want to update it for the 6 tips of better sleep. So to clone that, you just click on this little double square, and that will duplicate the page. The other thing you could do is you could copy this entire thing and call it the new ebook's name. That's another option. But just for the ease of working, if you want to change these images, they are just images. So I'm just deleting what's currently there. And then I can go to my uploads. This is what I was explaining to you over the phone yesterday, Karen. It was probably not
They have to be in uploads, don't they? Because I've now moved them out of uploads into a folder. So I'll need to
No, so they could be in that folder. You just need to go and find that folder. So it might be in a projects folder, or if you find.
Oh, okay, cool.
They just need to be in image. So they need to be a PNG. They can't be your design file.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to download them as a PNG and then upload them again into your uploads so that they are an image file, because if they're an image file, you can just drop and drag them over.
Yeah, but if I'm trying to add in an image right now to replace one of those images,
Yep.
why, as soon as I go to projects again to pull it out,
Yeah, so you can't go to the project. You'd have to find the folder. So if you go into images across the top here, if you've moved them into a folder, they're still images. You just don't want to go to the design, because the design is actually all bits and pieces together. So when you download it as an image, and you want that image file.
Yeah, okay. I'll play around with that.
So yeah, so you can delete the ones that are there, or you can just drop and drag over the top. It'll just remove the one that's there and you replace it with what you want. And then you just need to position which one's at the front, which one's at the back, so that they kind of stay in a bit of a fanned process.
Did you lock them into place? No. Yes, you have locked them into place.
I haven't.
Oh.
You can move them.
Okay, cool.
You can lock them. If I'm working on something and I've got that right, I'll lock it and then I'll move on.
Yeah.
But so then once you've got all of those uploaded the way that you want, you might want to put a title, or you may not. You want to then download that as a PNG, right? And here's the key. Do a PNG with a transparent background. That means that you can put that over top of anything, and this background will be transparent. So it won't matter what background. Unless you want it to be white, then don't do the transparent background.
Okay.
So if you click on transparent background and you download it, just going to be these images, and any background that you put it on top of will show through.
But you'd have to do that in another design.
No, you can just download that with a transparent background, or you can download it without that ticked, and it'll download it with a white background.
Right. So, oh, I see what you mean. So if you're adding it to a sales page or a newsletter or something, whatever the background of that sales page is what you mean. You just get the images and not the white square. Okay.
Right.
I like
So
that.
a good example for you, Mari, was on your community.
Yeah,
You
the
had
little dumbbells.
a logo, and it was a circle logo, and it had a white square behind it.
Yeah.
And I got rid of that and just put the circle logo with a transparent background.
And you did that from this point. You downloaded it as a PNG with a
That's the
transparent
same
background.
here, because that's normally a square logo. I didn't know you could do that. And I was like, why is this keeping coming up like a square?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I know.
Sometimes, like, I always on my computer will download a transparent background version of my logo and one with a white background, because depending on where you're going to use it, it's going to depend on how you want it. But I think that's pretty critical to know. So
I haven't done it with a transparent background before, so yeah.
handy tips to know. I think those things.
So then you can store them in your media file on your CRM with both options, right? You can store it as a transparent or white background. Okay.
Yeah, correct. And so then, Karen, I will go into your account. in your new funnel, there's a couple. So when you're building a funnel, there's generally 5 or 6 places that images will show up. So you've just got to make sure that you capture all of them. And Karen, you will know from the conversations we had on Voxer, you were like, hang on, this image isn't updated because I spelt Karen's surname wrong on the bottom of the image. And so I realized that, and then I updated it in 2 places and didn't update it in all of the places. So here's the new one, the Essential Christmas Pantry. And so you'll go into that page and you'll edit it.
So I was just going to say, I think I was too slow because I was muted. I've updated the title of that, but it keeps not updating.
You've not updated it in the publishing section.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Look at me telling you how to do it.
Here you go.
With my big smile, I was like,
I kind of know what you mean.
and
but
the
I'm not
student
sure.
teachers, I love it. Yes, so your domain hasn't been connected as a start.
I haven't got a link yet. Actually, Renee was after a link. Just let me know when you have the link so she can put it in there. Cool.
Yeah, okay. So in here, you would update this image. You'll come down here and click on this little image file here and then find it wherever you've uploaded it. I'm guessing you put it
festive
in
drinks. What's that?
So
nice.
This is my Mara's going to laugh when I say this. This is my warning to everybody. Keep yourself organized. So when you're uploading images, put them into the folder that they belong to. Otherwise, you'll get yourself in a right mess. So you can just go
I'm gonna put that on Renee because she dumped them in there. But she's never used our Lotta before, so she's learning.
That's all right. You managed her, so I'm going to put it back onto you and say when you're getting people that are using your system, get them to use your system so that, because if you put it in the right place and you can find it easily, you won't upload things multiple times. When you upload things
like I do,
you can reference one image 5 times. Like you don't have to upload it 5 times. So you're just going to become more efficient if you're organized.
And the folders are fine. Yes. You can get everything out of the folders then easily enough. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So you can move to the folder and you just easy as that. And so just like on your computer, I always say, the more organized you are, the quicker you find things and the more efficient you are.
So lots of folders is fine. Like, so those photos are expo photos. So I would just create another folder that just says expo. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can have folders within folders. So you can't move folders into folders, which is a bit of a pain in the bum, which they'll probably come up with later. But you can now, and they've only just done that, is choose this select, and you can select multiple photos.
Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, because I've got heaps that need to.
Now, because it was one by
one. It was one by one, and I was like, this is going to take me forever because I was highly unorganized for a long time.
Yeah. So, and keep yourself clean as far as if things are old, like if you've updated something, go and delete the ones that are not relevant anymore. Just be mindful if you're deleting images and they're on a page, it's going to show up with a can't find the file. So just make sure you don't use that anymore.
So because those photos are elsewhere somewhere on my camera or whatever, because they're the expo last year, I can delete them. But unless you're using
them as a background or you're using them, as part of a opt-in or something like that, you would just keep photos here that you're using on anything web related. If it's on your website, like, hey, I went to this expo and here's some photos, like then you would want to have them in here.
Okay.
All your social stuff goes in here now. If you set up your brand, it all goes in here. So you would come in here, you would click into where they want to live. If you click into the thing first, so you click into here, and then you upload, it will automatically go into that folder. If you just do it on the previous screen, it will go onto that screen and then you'll have to move it. So I would move in. And if
Mm.
these are all the individual pages, you might want to put those into a folder that says, you know, individual freebie pages, and then have the PDF of the freebie when it's finalized uploaded in there, and any images you used on the page.
Oh, okay. I just created a folder that was just Essential Christmas. So I
Yeah,
just
so
put
in that folder you can put multiple folders if you
multiple
want to.
folders. Yeah, okay.
It's only if it gets to more than, say, you know, 15 photos, then I would say it's better to kind of break them up. It's about how quickly you can scan through what's there and find what it is that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So you would come in and then update these images here and here. And don't forget this one here, the pop-up settings, because you have a pop-up for where you opt in. You also have the image on that.
I need to update it there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So that was where you came to me the other day and you were like, why does that not have the right one? Because I'd missed that one.
The other thing is,
sometimes you have a pop-up where somebody opts in. That's one way of doing an opt-in. Or you can have a button, and instead of it opening up a pop-up, it can go to the next page in your funnel, and that can be the opt-in page.
yeah,
So there's
can it
two
be?
ways to do an
I
opt-in.
I feel like there was too many steps for that one. Like, can we just have one less step? Or because people were like, oh, then it took me here, then I had to hit download again, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that was because we wanted to capture the information, or if we could have one
Well,
less.
there's only two. So there's this page where they read about the freebie.
Yeah.
And then this should be linked to a pop-up.
Okay.
Let me just have a look. I can't. Our photos are in the way here.
So, but why can't it just? Oh, it's got to be a pop-up because that's where I capture their information.
Well, alternatively, or you can instead create another page which sits in between the Essential Christmas Pantry and the thank you, and it is the opt-in page. So it has a form on it where they enter their details, and it has, you know, like what they're opting into. It doesn't have to have much information on it. Like the pop-up just has enter your details.
Yeah.
And then once they've entered in that information, go to the next page, which is the thank you page.
Yeah, okay.
Can you get the thank you page to roll on from the pop-up? How do you do that? Is it still the same step? When the pop-up opens, you can click next step from that point?
Yeah.
Because it's not actually a page.
Yeah, on the form, you have on the pop-up form that's on the previous page, you have the action to say when they've filled out that form to take you to the thank you page.
And that's on the right-hand side like it is here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then you can have on here, download the PDF, and you can send that out in an email. You can have your other steps that you want people to take post downloading.
So my brain just had a brain fart. I've done it before, but I can't remember. When you hit download, where is that sending you? Is it a link to if you're sending it in an email? Well, what happens when somebody hits the download button?
Yeah.
What's that next step?
It downloads the PDF. So it's the link to the final PDF, which is sitting in the Arlotta media file.
So
then the email is just another sending them via email the same link to the PDF. They can get it instantly here on the page.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get to. So you have to create the PDF file in your media and copy the link, but you can also, once somebody's filled in their details on this form, add it to the automation and they'll get the email as well with the link again. Right, okay.
Yeah. Are you with us, Karen? Did you get that?
But that's okay because I'm realizing that things just drop in when they're ready.
So, and I think it's important because understanding the steps of a funnel like in this particular one, usually you only have either 2 or 3 steps. So you have your opt-in page, you have your thank you page, which is usually where they deliver what they've opted in for, whether it's a webinar link or a webinar or a freebie. It's the download, it's the thing that they're opting in to get. It's the whatever, delivery of whatever it is. The thank you page, I always kind of go, well, it's an opportunity. It's a really good real estate. So you want to get them while they're hot. They've just opted in. They're excited about getting something free from you. They've got it here to download, but what else could you ask them to do? Like join your free group or join your, book a clarity call if that's part of your sales journey. What is the next step for somebody to take? So when I talk about customer journey, it's like, that when somebody downloads a freebie, they become a lead and you want to warm them up. So where do you put them? Like, do you put them into a free group? Do you get on the call straight away? What's your process of nurturing that person? I know, Sonia, you're doing free audits, so maybe on the free audit page, it's like it gives them the form. So once they opt in to do the free audit, then it gives them the form that they need to fill out to get the audit done. And it might be to book a call with you, or it might be to join a free group, or it might be another freebie that you've got. Like keep giving them value, keep giving them the opportunity to continue to get touch points from you and engage with you so that you can build trust and build that relationship so you can.
I can't build things as quick as I can't build things quick enough.
Yeah, usually we have more ideas than we can. So
before you go off that, can I just say something before you go off that? Where you had those pages up just on the left a minute ago, and it said "Thank you, clone." Like
yes, I'm just about to fix that.
Well, mine still says. I noticed. Can you bring it up again wherever you got it? Like, yeah, there. See where yours says Essential Christmas Pantry. Mine still says Better Sleep and Brighter Days Over 40. I'm the one that changed it to Essential Christmas Pantry. Yours is doing it. Mari said it's something to do with the publishing page. Why is mine not updated? I have gone out and back in and all that.
Let me show you where that is, and
mine doesn't even say
you haven't updated these ones, so because they've got clones still on them. So when you duplicate a funnel or clone a funnel, it will clone it and give it the names. They have to have unique names because they're an address. So it puts the word clone on the end or copy on the end of things so that it doesn't become a duplicate.
Mine doesn't have clone on it, so I'm wondering if I did something different. Have you cloned it, or have you gone into the one I made?
I've gone into the one you made.
Mine looks different.
So I'm just guessing potentially your cookies are
freaking cookies, right?
Yeah.
I don't like resetting cookies because then I can never get into anything.
So just be patient. Know that it has updated.
Okay.
And it will just correct itself at some point. So then while I'm on this page, I will go and fix these titles in a second. But while I'm on here, to connect a domain, this is where we make the decision of what domain do we want this website to be. So it's the beginning of. So do you want this to be Plantiful Health? Or is it a Karen Thornley?
Yeah, let's go Plantiful Health. Yeah, let's go Plantiful Health.
Okay. So it means you'll always have 2 of each, because whenever you set up a domain, it will get you to do the www as well. But the www just points over to the one without the www. So just always choose the one without the www. And then once you hit save on that, it will then put whatever you have as your what we're about to update as the ending. So this one says, thank you, 1 page 6. So we're going to go change that.
Thanks you.
Okay. Thanks
me, literally.
Okay, so let's just publish that, because I always make the habit of doing that. Now, also, thank you pages, probably not so relevant but you want to update this SEO metadata.
Oh yeah, I don't know
on
what that is. I've been wondering.
And I'll show you.
And also, why do you always hit publish? I just hit save because I always think I don't want it out in the public yet because I haven't finished.
So yeah, so that's the decision is you go, it's public. I mean, nobody has this URL to go to yet. So there's no real way for people to get access to it unless they happen to type this whole thing in. Highly unlikely.
How come that doesn't have the S in the thank you? Like, yeah, so you're back to mine.
Let me just finish. Okay, so on each page you need to do this step. I'll do the first one and then you can do the remainders. So it goes in. This little cog here is where you do your settings. So you say Essential Christmas Pantry and then opt-in Christmas ebook. That's correct. Okay. So you need to do that for each page. And you also need to click over here to publishing and change this.
That's what you meant, Murray.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, this is probably a bit boring for you, Murray.
Okay.
And so what did you want to call it? What this will be the URL that people go to?
Whatever was in the other bit. Christmas Essential Christmas ebook, pantry ebook or something. I don't know, whatever I called it. Wouldn't it need to be the same?
No.
Oh. Okay, Essential Pantry. That'll do.
I mean, you don't even need the opt-in if you don't want to.
So that step URL is different. Oh.
So this is the publishing page, which means this is the URL that's going to be published that people will go to. You can always check it. It will be up here at the top. So that's what you'll copy.
Yep.
And I will send it to you in Boxer. Where are you?
That's all right. It should hopefully come into my order.
Oh, yeah, it will. This is your order. Okay, so then on the thank you.
And my Voxer. Just arrived.
Yeah. You got to do the same. So you go to the publish page, say thank you. I always put a number at the end of my thank yous because this is the page that you don't want people to find. You want them to opt in to get access to it.
Yep.
When people are on the internet, you don't want them to just find your thank you page and get your freebie. You want them to opt in. So I always put a number that is just random that people would never guess.
Oh, I always take it off because I think, what's that random number there for? I'll just take that off.
Well, you can take it off. I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody gets your thank you page and it's nothing like a freebie, then it's fine. But if it's your product, like if it's your course and they get access to your course, they get everything for nothing.
Yeah.
Look, the chances of somebody finding it are pretty rare. So this is where you want to update the page name here.
Oh, that's where the next.
That's where the thanks you is. So this one isn't as relevant because this is just the page URL. It's not it's not always the published URL. So
can I ask a question there, Ro, please?
Yes. Yeah, please.
With the thank you page, obviously, if you've got multiple funnels, you're going to have multiple thank you pages. And you said that they need to be unique. So is it good to have that number because, like, they're going to be different?
Yeah. You don't want to, if you tried to just put thank you and you'd already done that on another funnel, it won't let you save it. It will automatically numbers. So it won't let you have two pages with the same address. It's like having two houses in the same address. Like you can't register it.
Yeah. So you'd have to have the Plantiful Health at the beginning. If you had like what you've got right there, that's unique. So the thank you, if you took that number off, let's say, but she had plantifulhealth.com.au/thank you. Would that work? Because if the funnel was,
If you didn't have another funnel in another page in another funnel that had thank you at the end, then yes, you could do that.
I think I've had a
But
problem with
a
that
lot of
before and I
people
couldn't work
know.
out why it wouldn't save.
Yeah, a lot of people know that if you put somebody's domain in and you put /thank you, you might find something of
Oh,
value. I
that's
mean,
so cheeky.
yeah,
Well,
like
we know
you and
that.
I,
We know
like
that
we all
now.
know now that we've built pages, we all know that the thank you page is a generic thing that people use for their delivery. So yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
just recapping on so instead of having a pop-up, you could have an additional step in between the Essential Christmas Pantry and the thank you, which is an opt-in page. And that has your form and your details about what they're opting into. So it can actually be a page. There are some pros and cons to that pop-up versus page. Sometimes pop-ups are blocked. I don't know if you've ever heard, like your pop-up blocker comes in and it won't let the pop-up come up. So that can be a pain in the bum. And so having an opt-in as a page is another way to do it. The other thing is if your opt-in is paid, so freebie or paid, whatever they're opting into, that step might be a payment. It might be a $7 product, a $49 product, a whatever can have a transaction. So I generally say if you're doing a transaction, never put that in a pop-up. That's just my rule of always put it in a page. And so if you were doing that, you would just add a new step and then you would move that step in between these two. And instead of the button going to a pop-up, you would change your buttons to go to next step.
It's remembering to do that sometimes, especially if you've cloned a funnel that had a pop-up before. You're like, why does this bloody pop-up keep coming in?
Or I
You've got
still
to remember
forget.
to turn it off if you haven't turned it off.
Yeah, I still forget, and I've been doing it for years. So,
but you're only going to notice that if you go back and check your page as the preview.
Or someone else.
What?
Are you talking to us, Sonia?
No, I think she's talking to her husband.
All right, cool.
Oh.
I was like, she's not looking at the screen, so I think she hasn't forgotten she's. That's all right. Okay, so the third page on this, just so everybody's in clue, is the booking page.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, my general rule of thumb, just saying, is don't create multiple pages for bookings. Is like, if you already have a booking page on another funnel, delete this page and get the link up here of the other one and just send it back there. The only reason you would want to have a unique booking page for a funnel would be if you had a unique Essential Christmas Pantry booking link, so that you knew when somebody booked what they were calling about, like what they were actually wanting to catch up. But if you're just going to have a generic discovery call or clarity call or some sort of sales call where you're just meeting and you don't really care what funnel they've come from, then don't keep duplicating these booking pages. Just go back to the other funnel and get the link to that page. And then on your thank you, where you say book a clarity call, just link them to your clarity call.
So you can just delete that step and once you've put the right link in the thank you page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know how at the expo I was having to offer some sort of discounted thing and we were like looking for coupons or looking for whatever, and I ended up discounting my whole sleep thing. So now anybody who goes to my website can get the discounted sleep thing, even if they weren't at the expo. Could we have created an appointment that was discounted and had the link for that there? And can it be hidden from my normal website so that when you go in normally? Yeah. So that could have been a way around it. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting the discount at the moment.
You can't do discount codes with appointment bookings, but you can for transactions. So that's where you can create discount codes and coupon codes, but they're only for products. You can't actually use them in the calendar. I'm sure they'll launch it that you can use a discount code, but currently the transaction that happens in a booking is a different transaction to a transaction when somebody purchases a product.
And can you, within appointments, can you hide certain appointments? So
Yes.
so that, yeah, okay, cool.
Yes. So in when you create booking pages, you tell it what booking calendar you want it to show, or if it's an individual booking calendar, or you can get it to show a group, and any booking type that's in that group will show up on that page. So if you have a discounts group, you can keep that, keep those booking types away from the standard booking page, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. So I'm sending everyone to karenthorley.com.au, so they're going to see all of them because all of my appointments are in that anyway, unless I regroup them. But they're still going to see them all. They'll just pick a group within. Like new clients versus...
Just don't add that freebie one or that discount one to that group. Remove it from the group.
I might need to have a session with you that talks about that, like my appointments, because I am having that trouble because we've got the ongoing coaching ones, which you just book because you've already paid, but they're just coming up on the public page. So essentially, I mean, I know who my coaching clients are, so I'm going to pick it up, but anyone could book a free hour appointment with me because it's not hidden.
Well, only if they have access to that booking page.
Well, it's on karenthorley.com.au, so anyone who goes there to book any other appointment sees that as well, and they see all the prices of all the appointments. So it's not set up very well.
Yeah, so we just need to change the way that it's set up so that it doesn't show the things that are for paying customers. It only shows the initial consultations and things like that.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that, so maybe I need to make an appointment.
Yeah, sure. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to switch from this to a question
They are already in groups. New clients, coaching calls. I think I've done it a bit without even knowing I was doing it.
I did it.
Oh, you did it.
It depends on where you're sending people. So if you're sending people to a page that has coaching calls there's a booking page that I created that had your coaching calls on it because I thought you could just send people to do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't want that,
I need to find the link for that as opposed to the link, because I'm just sending everyone to karenthorley.com.au. So when I get all of them.
You will have a link that we can create a page that's just for your coaching clients. So it doesn't charge them. They can just book.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not within that because they're all together at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah. We can change it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to switch up to Sonia because Sonia had a form request. So how to use a form to get people to as an opt-in. It's a great lead generation, a form. So this is the form that we created on the fly last night, and it is get your free personalized 5-minute Instagram or Facebook profile video. Let's optimize. So as an opt-in, 2 thoughts on this, Sonia, just to throw into the juices of the way in which you do this, is that you can have a 2-step opt-in. So you could have a page that just captures these details, like first name, phone number, email, that they're opting in for this free 5-minute video thing. And then on the second page, get them to complete a more in-depth form that is all of the information you need to do the actual audit. My only thought is that potentially this may be a little bit of a block or a challenge for people to fill out the entirety of. But I think if they want something in exchange, then they're probably a time waster anyway, and this might be a good filter for them anyway. So it's like an onboarding. All of you can apply a form in some fashion in your process. So you can attach forms to booking pages. So if you're wanting to book a consultation, you can have a form attached that they need to fill out some information before they make the booking, or they make the booking and then it gets them to fill out the information. So you can choose the order that happens. Because you're doing these as a video audit, like a Loom, then you probably don't need them to book in with you, but you might want to do a consultation afterwards, because it's all about building relationships, getting to know them so that they know all the ins and outs of what you offer. So where we go to find that, and I did try and record this for Sonia, and I had so many little people in my life that were not allowing that to happen last night. So forms are under sites.
I reckon the wet weather's slowing down the internet. Mine is so slow.
Oh yeah, I always blame Zoom, but I don't know. It can be slow.
Oh, maybe it is Zoom.
Yeah, sometimes you can click on forms or you can click on builder, it'll go to the same place. So this is the form that's been updated by Sonia.
Well, not really, because I didn't know how to change the background colors, or like I didn't want that grey and I didn't want the picture at the background.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that.
Forms are a little funny. Let me just do a bit of a brief training on forms, and then I think I'll go into the nitty-gritty. Forms are a bit funny.
Whole thing a form?
This whole thing's a form.
That whole page is a form with the background as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So forms can be quite pretty. So with each of these fields, so these are just database fields. If you come over to the left-hand side here, you've got first name, last name. These are all your existing database fields. Then when you scroll to the bottom, there's these additional fields, choice elements, or customized fields. So you can ask for PDFs. You can ask for them to upload a file. You can ask for a monetary field, a number field, a date picker field, a signature field. So you can go crazy with all the different types of fields. Once you create anything that is a custom field, they show up in this little section here. And you can group them into groups. Now, it's a totally different area where you set these groups up, but I can show you that if I remember before we end up. But I would suggest that if you're collecting information in a form that is kind of to do with one particular topic, so this particular one, it's about social media, we want that grouped, and I'll show you the reason why. I know we have covered this on another call, but I think it helps to understand where it goes in the database is neatly organized under a section. There's two sections. It can go into a contact or it can go into an opportunity. So if this was, in your case, Sonia, potentially just information that you want to know from an opportunity perspective, because it's a conversion strategy, you could put it under opportunity. So then that would just show up in your opportunity funnels, which probably sounds like I'm talking another language because you haven't got onboarded yet and probably don't know what that is. However, I just like to keep it in the contact, because then when we go to our customer contact card, we have all the answers there. So each of these fields, like pages, they have a unique URL and a unique link name, so that it's a database reference field. So you can't create two fields with the same name. It'll poop its pants. And I get clients all the time going, I'm trying to do this form, and they've created a field, not realized that they've created it, and they've come and created it again, and it's caused a conflict, and then it won't let them save their form. So make sure that the actual fields are unique. And that you come in here, if you're asking the same question on multiple forms, like if you ever ask the Instagram handle or Facebook handle in another form for another reason, just reuse the same field. Like, don't go and create multiple fields for the same purpose. Each of these fields then, when you create it, you get a choice to create the type of field that it is. So it's either a file upload, a signature, a date picker, a checkbox, a drop down, whatnot. Now, if you change your mind, you can't change the type of field. You have to delete that field and you have to create a new field. So, for example, Sonia, I didn't love the way that this worked. It's a drop down and you can select multiple things from it. I was like, I would rather kind of have it as a checkbox, but to do that, I would need to delete that field. Well, I'd need to take it out of my form. I'd need to go to the database and delete it, which I'll show you where that is in a minute. And then I would need to recreate it. And I was like, late last night, was not going to do that. But if we do want to make that change, that's just something to remember.
Because you can't have two that are the same name.
Can't have two that are the same name, and you can't have I mean, you could slightly change the name of the question, I suppose, and then, but then it gets really messy from a database perspective because you've got multiple fields and they show up on every customer, whether they've filled out that form or not. So it does start to get messy.
So where do you, to delete it, you just delete it on the form, or do you have to go over to the left and delete it from there?
Yeah, so it's actually in a totally different section. I can take you there before we finish and just show you where that is. So you would delete it off your form by pressing cross.
Can I ask something first, Ro?
Yeah.
So the reason why I was in a rush, I actually had someone, I put my story up advertising that, and she jumped on board straight away. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even organized. I don't even have anything to give her yet. So this got created. So thank you for helping me with that. So if she has filled it out and we now delete it, does that also delete it in the client under her that she's given me that information?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So you'd need to, if you're doing things in the future, you want to avoid deleting something that's been used in the past, because it will delete that field from the database, and so anyone's entries would be deleted alongside it. Yeah.
Okay. So you just deleted that then, didn't you?
I just removed it from here. And then I put it back in. So
okay, yeah.
Remove it like
I don't know if she's filled it out yet or not. That's all.
That's all right. So there's still a live version. I haven't saved this one.
Right. Yeah.
And so I just do that. And so then to reorganize things, you're just dropping and dragging your fields
over on the left or on the actual page?
On here. So you click on it, see how it's got the box around it, and then you can just drop and drag.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
It's a bit finicky.
How do you change the grey colour?
Yeah, I want to change the grey.
So let's go through each of the elements and how we can change them. So when you want to change a particular element, you can click on it and you can change it over here. So this one doesn't have anything in the actual box. So that's called the placeholder. And we go, please choose your option. That is what's going to show up in the field where you enter the data. If you want to change the name of the question, you can change the name of the question. That will not update these custom field names. So if you decide to go, oh, I'm going to just change the name of this question and make it something completely irrelevantly different, don't do that. Delete the field, delete the whole.
Oh, that's where I've gone wrong in the past. Yeah. Like, why is that still there on their file? Because I thought
get yourself in a complete mess if you start to do that.
Correct.
The field will say one thing and then they've got data in it that's something completely different.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. Well, we all learn that way.
Okay, so I went back in last night after you did this row, and I had given you the information Instagram, but I realized it needed to be Instagram and Facebook. So I've gone back in here and changed it so it's more like social media profile. So it's not just for Instagram. So I've changed it here. So does that mean that I've stuffed up?
So where did you change?
So in these questions, where it says social media profile down here, what is your biggest challenge with your chosen social media profile? I had given you Instagram. So you had Instagram there. So I've gone back and changed Instagram to social media profile.
Okay, so in this custom field, which is the unique name for this field, it's probably still going to say Instagram at the end. Yeah.
But that'll only show up. But that'll only show up on their customer card.
Correct. Yeah. Probably not the biggest deal in the world because it's still related.
Yeah.
In that it's
and
still,
so I can't change it. I can't change it.
You can't.
I would have to delete it and redo it. So if that lady hasn't filled out the form, I could potentially just go in and delete. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And if she has, you can just go into her card, write down her information, and then delete the field, fix the field, and then go and put her information back in again.
Okay. That's good to know, like just to know these little nuances.
Can you actually do that though? If she's filled in the form and you want to change the details within somebody's form on their contact list, can you actually change the details?
Yes.
Oh.
So I imagine that the column that was named, maybe I can go up and change that name of the column, or maybe I've got to delete that, but obviously copy the information she had. Then do I have to put in a new column, or will it automatically put in a new column because of this new information?
Well, yeah, when you create the new field, the way that you want it to be, then it will add that to the database.
Okay, so then I can just copy that information and put it under the heading, the new heading, and then I could delete that column that it's going to be deleted anyway, isn't it?
Well, yes, it'll be deleted and removed from the account, so it won't be there anymore. And then you just paste the information that you kept into the new field. Yeah.
So you need to know those steps, don't you? So that's good. Like that's important information.
I'm going to have to go too. Sorry.
That's all right. I think Sonia's question is just how to change the background. So
are you doing how do you do that? Is it on the left? Are you doing that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in here, you have colors and background.
Oh yeah.
So you're upgrading whatever photo. Now, what you want to try and do
whereabouts was that row? Can you start from the beginning again? So where do I go?
This little styles and options toggle.
All right. Yes.
And then you've got across the top style, themes, and options. So you can just toggle between those.
Yeah.
And it's the styles one that we want to go under. And under styles, there's layout, colors and background, and miscellaneous. So colors and background is what we want. So that's where you change the gray.
So I just need a hex code, right? Okay.
Yeah. And you need to, so generally this is where your branding comes in. You'll have your hex codes, you'll have your standard colors and fonts and whatnot that you use. With your images, you want to have an image that is kind of probably 1200, 2000 pixels wide by about.
It won't tell you that on that form, will it? Sometimes it'll tell you it needs to be this size.
Sometimes it tells you. This one it doesn't. And this header image, it probably would be better if it wasn't so that, like, make it more shorter.
Yeah, which like a square. Are you saying like a square?
Square or a rectangle, like a, maybe just across like maybe, 600
smaller.
by 400 pixels or something like that. So it's more of a
So if you put
rectangle.
if you've put a smaller sized image, it will make that piece of the form smaller.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes. So this image is, it's
It's
a
5 by
portrait.
7.
Right.
It's 5
So
by
it's
7.
just
So
literally the size.
In Canva, you just get a different tile size that is rectangular, and you can put a whole stack of things on there. Like you could have words on there, you can have, you know, you
Yeah.
can design
Good.
something that actually fits. Like the theme that I used. Like if you scroll through these, you'll see different themes that choose, and you'll see that they've done different banners, like they've got logos in their banners and they've got different things. So you can design up something that is a better dimension.
But you can't shrink it like you can, in a newsletter, you can change the size of the image. You can't do it from here.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to run. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, Sonia.
You too, Marie.
See you soon.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
So the one last thing with this, there was this text. So when you click on it, you've got your font colors here. And when you tick on this, there was a weird place that I had to go to change the color of these fonts. Is it here? Advanced settings.
Oh, it's got the sizes there, Ro. It had the sizes.
I did it.
There.
Did you see that advanced settings that I went to?
All right. No, I didn't. But
that's these on when you click on these fields.
Yeah.
You have to go in advanced settings to get the border colors and the font colors for the input.
So is the border color, is that?
It's this mustardy color.
Okay.
I don't think you can actually even see a border.
Yeah. Yeah, see there, it's got the sizes, hasn't it? It's got padding 15.
Oh, no. So this is padding. So this is
okay.
The distance between the edge of the form and this box.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I noticed on the mobile phone, you didn't even see the background photo. It was just like this. So it's just more for the desktop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It sometimes just takes a bit of like fluffing around to get that right and to play with it. But with some of the templates, like they just don't have the size, and you can muck around and, go to 2-column and single column and like, you can be in here for days if you wanted to.
Yeah. So in my case, do you think it would be good for me to have this form like create it and then have it as part of a funnel? So they've got the form and then they've got the thank you page, and then down the bottom where they've got the options where they can actually, like download, I don't know, maybe there's a little guide that I can have them download, and then maybe step 2 is that they can make a call with me. A little bit like what you had for Karen. You had step 1, step 2, step 3. Would you put a thank you page after this with that?
I would probably create an opt-in form, and then I would take all the details, the phone, the email out of this.
Yeah.
And just have, so they opt in and then they fill out the form to get the job done. So it's almost like an onboarding form.
Yeah.
But that's where I think we just need to map out what is your customer journey. So how are you going to generate leads, and then what process do we want to take them on? Because we can trigger emails, we can trigger actions to happen off the back of somebody filling this in for you to then do the job. And then how do you deliver that to them? Like it could be quite automated. Like you could have a pre-written form that you just go and stick the loom in.
Yeah.
Then send it to them in an email, or, like you might want to do it in Messenger. You can do that from the system as well. So we've just got to go through kind of get that set up.
Are you able to support me with like what that possibly could look like, just so I can organize it in my brain and not be overwhelmed by like I don't know what steps to go with? Like,
Yeah, 100%. That's where when we go through this process, that's what I'll be mapping out is what is the first offer, which is your lead generation. What is your lead feed?
yeah,
If this is your lead feed, then we want to make sure that at the thank you page, we're sharing, what the next steps are, like who you are and what you offer and how you can help them. And we're starting to set up that authority so that when you've done the audit, they know that they can come and do this course that you have that's going to help you, like you're going to hold their hand to actually fix all the problems that you identified.
yeah.
So the audit needs to be linked to the solution that you provide, and that's then the smooth transition of the sales.
Yeah. So I feel like the solution that I can provide them is definitely like with the visuals. It can be around, their messaging as well. Even though I struggle with my messaging, I seem to be all right with helping others with their messaging, which is funny.
But I think the process that you go through to systemize teaching somebody, you're going to do what I do. It's like when I build a funnel, I'm like, shit, I'm building this for someone else. I need to have one myself so I can showcase what it is that I do. But, like a plumber with leaky pipes, like you don't always have your stuff sorted out. Like I don't have a form. I don't have an onboarding form. Like I should. And that's definitely highlighted doing this for you last night. I'm like, I need an onboarding. It's on my list. I need an onboarding form for people to fill out to get all that information because I'm forever asking for bits and pieces, and that could be a lot more streamlined. So you never get there and you're never done. You're just always going, okay, how can I systemize that? How can I make that simpler? The beautiful thing about this is that it's building your database straight away. That's why I jumped on it when you said you could do it. I'm like, yep, this is lead generation. If we start at just the form and we send people to the form, awesome. But if we have a funnel, that's even going to be more professional. It's like, okay, send the form, and then
it's like, I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done because like I know this lady is going to want my course. I had someone in my team member, she was seeing my stories just last night and she said, I don't know what you're doing, but I really like just this 4-step system that you've got with your stories, like a beginning, middle, and end each time you share your stories. She said, I really want to support. I want to know what it is that you're doing. So I feel like this is all tied together. And so it's like, I haven't got the stuff, like I haven't got my ducks lined up. And I know I've heard people say
energetically.
Yeah, I've heard people say it's actually good not to have it because you can tweak it and find out and then create what it is that people need. But I feel nervous in the way that I can have the tech skills and I can get my head to it, but it is all new learning as well. And it's clunky and it's not as quick and smooth as I'd like it to be.
Well, I think it's just, you got to take it step by step. Like you don't just go, boom, it's all set up and ready to, like you've got to get clear.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's
yeah. But I think too, like you don't even know if this social media profile audit is going to convert. And to me, you don't want to go spending hours building out a smooth funnel before you even know if the process works. Like,
okay,
do the form, get the information, get the results, and see if it converts. Ultimately, just in our session the other day, you've got clear that you potentially could have an offer, and all of a sudden you've got people that want the offer that is in your brain, right?
Yeah.
But the clarity of going, okay, well, clearly that's going to be a good investment of your time to build out that offer because you've got people that want it. And to me, I go, well, sell it as an idea and build it with them. So get first 10 clients and build the course out whilst you're teaching them. Like just be a couple of steps ahead. It's going to be, you're going to have little chihuahuas on your heels. because they're going to want the next module and you're going to be like, shit, I haven't got it done yet. And it's going to put pressure on you.
Yeah.
But it's the best way to build something out is that you have an audience that wants what you have. So you're not building something and spending hours building out a course and then you can't sell it because it's not what people want.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to end the recording now. Sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate that.